I have wanted this car for so many years, and it's so weird to be inside of here and the car is actually mine. While I'd be driving the Evo, I would be thinking about, okay, now this Evo was my dream car at the time. What would my next dream car be? What car really checks all the boxes for me? What car really does it for me? And for me, I just kept going back to the F8X generation of cars, the F80, the F82, and the F87. Something about those cars just did it for me. I love this chassis. Now, while I miss the Evo's manual transmission and just raw race car feel, this car has such a dual personality. I love that about it. Picking up this car felt like a dream. I drove down to San Diego with my girl, and on the way back, I was doing 150-mile-an-hour pulls in it. It is insane how quickly this car gets up and gets going. Even at highway speeds, when I'm doing 75, 80 miles an hour, the ferociousness, like the torque, just does not let up. I feel like this car can get you in some serious trouble because even at those sort of speeds, it like keeps egging you on more, keep your foot down more, keep pushing it, go faster. It wants to keep going through the gears, and it doesn't care about what speed it's doing. Now, why did I get this specific M4? Well, because I got a good deal. There was a ton of service records, there was no rust, clean Carfax, and it was female owned. Also, I just love this generation of car, the F8X generation. It has such a dual personality, like I was saying earlier. There are days I have it in comfort mode, I'm doing 75 or 80 miles an hour with cruise control on, and I'm getting almost 30 miles per gallon. And then there are days where I want to push one button, go into Sport Plus mode, and I have burbles and cracks, instant throttle response, better sounding exhaust. It's just like, it's a completely different car with one push of a button. I love that about this generation. Now, why did I choose the F82 over the F80? To be honest with you, price. I wanted an F80, that was my first choice because I love having 4 doors, it's just more dailyable, but the idea of spending $10,000 more just to have 2 more doors didn't really make sense to me. I would rather save that money, put it into mods, and essentially have the exact same car, same engine, same chassis, same everything else, just 2 less doors for $10,000 less. Now, why not manual? This car is a DCT. I fought long and hard about this with myself. Because when I was looking for this car, when I was trying to find this car, at least in the market at this time, within the last, couple weeks, last month, I could not find a clean manual one for around the same price as this. If I wanted a clean stick M4, I'd be paying $10,000 or $8,000 to $9,000 more than getting a DCT one. Now, I found a couple manuals that were around the same price as this DCT one I got, but they were raped. I mean, they had bad mods. Some of them have mixed matching wheels. They had scratches on the body. They just look like they were not very well taken care of. When you contrast that to this car, where I have all of the service records, all of the maintenance, and it looks to be cherry. That's why I ended up choosing the DCT over the manual for this car. Now, if I'm comparing DCT to manual, do I miss having a manual? Yes. I've had manuals in all my cars since I was 16, so yes, I definitely miss it. But is the DCT still a ton of fun? Yes. Yes, it is. You pull a paddle and skedaddle, you get these like DCT chirps and farts and burbles that are amazing to hear. It's really fun in the canyons because you can instantly go up and down gears. There's no lag in any change. It's a ton of fun. I definitely miss having a clutch pedal, but DCTs are still a lot of fun. Also, if I'm lending the car to a family member or if I'm getting it valeted at a restaurant, it's a lot less stressful having them drive around an automatic than it is a manual. In a manual, I'm worried about them launching it or burning up the clutch or not knowing what they're doing, versus with this, it's a lot less stressful. As far as maintenance on the car, the previous owner had all of the maintenance records. So brakes, tires, spark plugs, oil filter housing gasket, oil changes. They literally had a record for everything on the car going back to when it was new. As far as mods, there are none, which was a huge selling point for me. I'm really glad it doesn't have any mods because I can do what I want to it. And I know that cheap or bad mods weren't put on the car, which would make me doubt the previous owner's love or care for this car. Well, I guess it has one thing. The car does have tint if you consider that a mod. Besides that, it's completely stock. If I'm looking at overall condition of this car, the interior is immaculate. No scratches, no tears, no rips, no stains, no nothing. It is literally perfect on the inside. As far as the exterior, there's no dents, no scratches. I think maybe 1 or 2 tiny door dings. There's a couple of rock chips on the front bumper from, highway driving. But besides that, the exterior is in very good condition as well. I guess the only damage I could find on the car was on the front bumper, on the lower part of the front bumper. There's maybe like a dime-sized little scratch where it looks like the previous owner hit a bigger rock on the freeway or something like that. It's very tiny. I plan on touching it up and it's going to be completely invisible. Nobody would would know it's there. So what are my plans for this car? Because I have a lot of plans for this car. First things first, I'm going to carbon out the interior. I have a ton of carbon bits sitting at home ready to go. Carbon shifter surround, steering wheel trim in carbon, and a couple other smaller pieces. I also plan on getting a GTS steering wheel because they look a little nicer, or maybe redoing this steering wheel in the GTS Alcantara. I'm trying to decide if I want to swap the whole steering wheel assembly or if I just want to get it redone, kind of going back and forth on that one. The next thing is going to be brakes. I have power stop track day pads and brand new BMW rotors sitting at home, which are going to be installed in the next couple of days. After I get that done, it's time to make some power. Now, these cars make power very easily. They make just over 400 to the wheels. Now, when you do downpipes and an MHD stage 2, you'll make about 550 wheel horsepower and 550 wheel torque, which is sort of close to the same torque number as the Evo, so it should feel nice and fast, but it's definitely less horsepower than the Evo. The Evo made 750 wheel and about 600 wheel torque. After that, I'm going to do wheels and tires. I've been deciding what wheels I want to go with. I know I'm going to go with RS Pros as far as the tires because I have experience with those tires. I love them. They have tons and tons of grip, which is awesome, but they also last quite a few miles, so I'm not constantly burning through tires. Like I said, as far as the wheels, I've been deciding between Arc 8s, LMs, or maybe one of new Apex's wheels, the forged ones. Been going back and forth looking at photos to see which one I'm interested in. Now, this video was meant to introduce this car to the channel. I'm going to be making a lot more videos about it, current condition of the car, and plans I have for the car. If you guys have any BMW questions, feel free to drop them below in the comments. I respond to absolutely everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one.